Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Today is the day. The wait list already knows this, but for everyone else, I want you to know too. This is pretty important stuff. I have a brand new coaching offer and enrollment is happening right now. So listen carefully. From now until June 30th, you can enroll as a founding member into the MFR Coaches 12-month Business Foundation program, where you'll create the foundation for your six-figure MFR business. And you heard that right. It's a 12-month program. When you enroll as a founding member by June 30th, you will get these bonuses: my 350-page workbook printed and delivered to your door, instant access to the course portal with all of my digital trainings, materials, and coaching replay calls. You'll also get a payment plan. This program is a $3,000 investment. When you enroll before June 30th, you get the option to make payments at no extra cost to you. Let me tell you a little bit about what you can expect while you're in this program. Starting August 1st, we will have live weekly coaching calls on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Central. These calls will run for the entire length of your 12-month program, and you'll be able to catch the replays both in the course portal and on a private podcast channel just for group coaching members. Starting August 1st, you will be invited to join your private Facebook group with other MFR therapists who are on the same mission to create a six-figure MFR business without burning out. You will enjoy all of this for the entire length of 12 months. Create changes in your business and get continued support as you grow and change personally and professionally. Show up to the live calls and get your questions answered and get coached through any dilemma or challenge that presents itself along the way. Get support in the Facebook group and be a part of one of the best communities ever. Use the course portal and listen to the replays from every group I've ever had to help you speed through any problem you might be facing right now and move on to the next thing that you have on your list to tackle. There's zero confusion, zero drama, and zero bullshit. This is a one-time fee, 12 months of awesomeness, and you need to join right now. You have until June 30th to take advantage of the bonus offers, which include the printed workbook sent to your home, instant access to the course portal ahead of the live coaching program start date, which is August 1st, and you get that payment option of 3 payments. After June 30th, you can still enroll, but you will pay in full and you will not get the workbook sent to your home. So decide you are in now. You spend a lot of money investing in your skill set. Now invest in your business and learn how to put those skills to use. Sell MFR, understand how to set your rates, talk to clients, and get them the results that they want. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/coaching to enroll right now. All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome into our very first mini podcast episode ever. And this is the first time we are recording video. And I just wanted to introduce my very special guest, Tracey Hobbie. Tracey, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so excited to be doing this with you. Will you kind of remind the audience, like you've been on the podcast a time or two, but will you remind everybody who you are and the name of your business and where you're located?
I am a massage therapist, MFR therapist. The name of my business is Touch of Wellness Myofascial Release, and I am in Northern Virginia, Purcellville, Virginia.
Awesome. And how long have you been in business?
This time around, it's been about a year and a half.
Okay. So a year and a half since you went fully all in MFR only, your own business. I can't believe it's only been a year and a half.
Yeah, it's only been a year and a half. I know.
That's amazing. Okay. So why don't you fill everybody in? You've done coaching with me. What were some of the reasons you came to coaching in the beginning? And just kind of tell us your journey. Fill us in.
Yeah, so I was ready to finally step in again to start my own practice. So I did have my own myofascial relief practice back in Oregon from about 2012 to 2016. And it was a place where I was living at for a long time. I was already well established. I didn't have to advertise at all. It was all word of mouth. And then we moved from Oregon to Virginia. And I had the thought, and I was working as a contractor, and I had the thought that I don't know anybody. There's no way that I can start my practice again. I don't have a referral source. And so when I moved far away from my contracting position, I was like, it just made sense to start my own practice again, but I was just frozen in fear. Like I just didn't know. I knew what I had to do. I was listening to your podcasts. I read your book, but still I just couldn't take those steps. It was too fearful. It was too hard. I can't do it. I had all these negative thoughts. And so when I found out you were doing coaching, it was so exciting. When I found out how much you were charging, like that, the money that I was like, oh my God, I can't spend that much money. There's no way. And there was all these circumstances around it. And then, there's no way I can spend that much money. And then finally you offered this group coaching possibility. And I was like, okay, I can't not afford to do it. And I found out that I made that money back, tons more, tenfold.
Yeah.
I spent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that that's such a common objection is like finding out the cost of something, anything like for our clients, it's like finding out the cost of myofascial release and like just deciding before you even know what's possible that you can't afford it. And so you just opt yourself out of the results you could have. Right. So it's not uncommon. And probably for lots of people that are watching us right now or listening to us later, they're gonna be like, yeah, duh, only rich people can do this program. But I want everybody to know, like you said, when you go into something with the intention of getting your return on investment right away, you can't help but get it right away. And like you said, and tons more money after that. So I was just kind of like going back through some of the chats we had because the cool experience that I'm having now as the MFR coach is I have coached a lot of people now and a lot of people stay in touch with me and they give me like their wins, and I will never get sick of hearing how well everybody is doing. And it's super fun. And I was like, oh, I wonder, like, I got to go back and like read all of the things Tracey sent to me. And it was like a lot. I filled up like an entire page of just, and I didn't even go back all the way. I just went back like for 15 minutes and started writing stuff down. So some of the things you have sent to me over the last 18 months were that you are able to show up and be the best therapist for your clients and you have time and energy now to do your own healing and growing and take care of your own needs outside of work so that you can bring that back to your clients. You have an amazing schedule, which leaves you space for other things outside of your business. And you talked about like creating other streams of income too, that aren't related to your time or seeing clients, which is really cool. You've mentioned to me multiple times that you've been fully booked 4 weeks out or more, and that was like a little bit stressful, but you were learning how to cope with it. You've said things like, my confidence is at an all-time high. I've uncovered limiting beliefs that were holding me back from being the therapist and business owner I knew I could be. I was stuck in fear, but I'm not now. My business is thriving right now. And I just celebrated not worrying about money over the holidays and even splurging for presents to put under the tree. And then another one you left me, and I don't know like the order of these, was I just had an 11K month.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. I mean, I love everything about my business, and I don't think I would be in the place I am now without you, for sure.
Oh, well. I mean, the part where you kept telling me, you were trying to figure out how to create referrals, how to get clients in. And like one day you were like, no, it's me. Like I actually am my best referral source. Like, I think you forgot about the part where you created this other business in a different town, in a different state. And like nobody else created that for you, even if people were sending you people, right?
Yeah.
Like you ultimately created that result. So what's it like now, 18 months into your new practice? Is our 11K months and being fully booked out for 4 weeks at a time? Is that just the norm now?
Yeah, I definitely still have some like, 10K months for sure.
Oh my gosh, 10K months. What even? How do you afford your
It's like
life,
usually
right?
like every other month because I sell packages and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And yeah, so that has been, really amazing, the income, because one of my thoughts before I started coaching with you, it's going to take me 2 to 3 years in order to be fully booked so I can depend upon this income and really be like, oh, we can, start saving and,
Mhm.
for vacations and that kind of.
And you were like, I don't know how I'm gonna like, I kept saying like, make your investment back. And you're like, how do I make it back? Like it's already spent, right? Do you remember that?
Yes. It's like, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like paying a bill. You just like, you had the extra income, you just pay the bill and it was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I figured that out. Thank
I love
goodness.
it.
Um,
Well, you're not alone. Like, that's why I want to bring it up. I'm not making fun of you. Like, I think probably you are like everybody else has these same ideas. And especially when you're not used to investing in your business in this way, because I think if you're like me, I don't know. I like to say this like with a lot of love towards myself, but like I always think I just know it all. And so I am very skeptical that anyone else knows more than me and that they could help me more than I can help myself. Like I should just already know it or it's a scam. I don't know if that comes up for you at all.
no, I know that, I need help. It's okay. And that was the thing. It was like, it's okay to ask for help and to get help. And once I started doing that, once I started like, breaking through these fearful things, what caused fear beforehand, I was like, oh my God, this is actually really easy. And so then I
Mhm.
would like, what's the next barrier? And I would like break through that. And there was a really good, empowering feeling to be able to do that. With the support of the coaching and without the other people in the container as well, and
Mhm.
seeing
Yeah.
their wins and seeing what they can do and asking for help. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, when you're in a container where other people are openly asking for help too, or they're openly struggling, it helps, at least for me, it helps me see like, oh, like that's either a struggle I'm going through now or one that I'm about to go through. And this is how I handle it. And it's going to be okay. And all of this like discomfort that's coming up is totally fine. Like it doesn't mean anything's going wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as like other people are being coached, maybe it's not the same thing that I am struggling with at the moment. You still get to see the thought processes and to see how they're being coached and being like, oh my gosh, I can, my thoughts get in my way too, and see the process as it unfolds. Also kind of having you say the same things over and over again, which is kind of funny because, we get so stuck in, not being able to kind of move forward because we're so conditioned or so programmed, or that's what we tell ourselves. And so
Mhm.
you would tell us the same thing over and over again. And even now, like when I'm with like my colleagues or my friends, I'm like, oh, let me coach you on this. Nope, that's not true. Let me tell you what your thoughts are. And like, I just like, I just like project you. And
I love it.
yeah, it's great. I love it. I love
That's
it
so
too.
funny. That's so funny. Okay, so I had asked you a couple of questions prior to the call, and I think you have some things written out. Do you want to go over some of your answers to the questions?
Sure. Let me take a look here.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the biggest wins and changes that I made during coaching was getting the help to quit my contracting job and like to go full in and rent my own space and start practicing full time. So
Mhm.
that was huge for me at that time. That was a big revelation, like, whoa, I can do that. And like we did the math and like you helped me through the parts like, yeah, I can afford to do this and it's okay.
Do you remember when you were like, I really have to have this job, like at least I'm getting paid here. And then I remember we did the math. Like I was like, okay, we're going to delete all of the drama. we're just going to talk about the math equation of this, right? And you figured out it was costing you money to go to that job.
Right. Yeah. Because of the commute time and the expense of commuting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that I like owed it to them, my
Yeah.
employer. I thought I owed it to my clients to keep going. So I had those were thought errors for sure.
Yeah. But they're painful, right? When you're in that and it seems really real. Like I owe people this. Like I think it also, you're making it mean something about yourself too. Like it meant something bad about you if you didn't follow through with a commitment, or you didn't stay there, or you left. Like that
Or
was
I was being a good person because I was staying there because I was helping them out, and
yeah.
and so yeah, so again, like you let me see what my brain was doing, what my thoughts were. I was like, you know what, that's actually not necessarily, it doesn't have to be true.
Yeah. And it was like a pretty quick decision after that. You were like, oh, now that I can see this, like, no, I'm not freely opting into this anymore. I'm going to opt out, and I'm willing to put up with however I'm going to feel as I go through that. I mean, you moved through that with lightning speed, and it doesn't have to, like, faster isn't necessarily more valuable, but faster for you in this case ended up equaling a lot more money faster in the form of myofascial release clients in your office without the commute.
Yeah, having the practice that I wanted, it's just so much easier to rip off that Band-Aid. And I kind of, just like a bit to temporarily feel bad, but like, and that's what it proved moving forward. It just felt, it was amazing. And now I have this practice that gives me so much freedom, and I absolutely love it. So
that's so good. Okay. What else is on your list?
Struggles that I had, that I don't have now. So I think, so what you helped us do is kind of do a deep dive into our thoughts and our belief systems. And so this has like helped me in my business with setting my policies and sticking to them, like, cancellation policies and like, packages, and sticking with them. And those are really difficult for me. They're very uncomfortable to tell people, oh, sorry, you have to still owe me for the entire amount of money because you didn't, and also
you didn't show up, or you didn't cancel on time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I would do is, like, as they were 15 minutes late for their appointment, I would call them up and, with the intention of wanting to let them know, hey, you have an appointment, what's going on? And I would just get off the phone as quickly as possible without even, discussing, like, hey, let them know what my policy was, giving them the opportunity to pay or to like reconcile or anything. I was just like, oh, I just gotta get off the phone as much as possible. And you helped me to understand, like, that it was the fear of rejection. Like that I felt like they were going to reject me. Like they were like going to be like, okay, I don't want to see you anymore. And I couldn't tolerate that. And I realized that, like, and then you said, it's actually, they're not rejecting you, you're rejecting yourself. And that, like, bawling, I started crying, and it was like, and like the emotions that came up and the feelings and just letting them move through the body. And it made me really sad to think that I was rejecting myself like that. I was like, that's so sad. Like, why would I do that to myself? That's terrible. So like that from there, like, Heather, I don't know if you know this, but it's like, it's really helped to kind of, let me see like the fear that's underneath that rejection. And I've been going, and then after that, I went to MFR3, which didn't work out the way. And we did like a 3-day advanced retreat. And then a lot of that melting of that fear kind of continued through there. And I went through this major anger period and feeling a lot of anger. And it was like what I call like an emotional healing crisis. It was for a few months, and I know it was okay, and I was okay with it. And this was just part of the process, that we do. And so
isn't it so cool that you're able to? Sorry to interrupt you, but you know how I do. But like being able to label the emotion, like this, what I'm feeling in my body right now is anger, and it's okay for it to be here. Like there's no like hustle to have to get rid of it or making it someone else's fault. It's just like, I'm having an emotional healing crisis right now, and I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah. And I would love how you would say, okay, slow down a minute. How does that feel in your body? Yeah. Let yourself feel it. Just feel it. And like, you let us name it, maybe discuss it. And then like after 2 or 3 minutes, that emotion was gone. That was really helpful too. And I love that way, how you use that in your coaching, because that's so important. And I am able to kind of use that with my clients now too.
Yeah, that's so good.
Wow. Yeah. So, you know, these kind of bonus type of wins or type of changes that kind of went through a struggle, but actually came to be something that's
I
really
like to think of it as like coaching intangibles. Like, what are the intangible results from coaching, right? And our clients, your MFR clients, get a bunch of intangible results too. And when we start to really make a list of what those are, like what exactly encompasses a better life or a life without pain, like what are all of the things you're not going to miss out on because you're not having those things? Same with you, or same with the clients that I work with in coaching. It's like, what are you going to experience now because you can process emotions? How is your experience with your kids differently, with your spouse, with your business, with your patients? Like, it literally affects your reality on so many levels. And like, it's kind of a weird thing to talk about. And, you know, the more we talk about, the more we normalize it. And the more people start to look for these intangibles that are worth, like the value of the intangible is worth so much. Like, we've got to talk about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, extra bonus for sure. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think we kind of went over everything that I had on my list. Like, you know, everything just felt so hard at first, and then just made everything kind of really easy for me. And you know, I can show up as a better therapist, more grounded, more centered. It's not necessarily about like them liking me. Like I still kind of work on, like, if somebody cancels their appointments, I'm like, you know, I get that feeling in my body, like, oh, they're, you know, I'm feeling being rejected again, or, you know, not being liked. And then just let that wash through and over me, and not let that kind of take over too much for too long. It's like there's smaller amounts of time that actually.
And you might always have this, like, if this thing happens, I'm going to feel XYZ, but the intensity of it changes over time until like a year from now. Like, it probably will not, it'll be more of like a little tiny itch. I don't know if you can hear that, but I have construction going on upstairs. There's like all these like saws going off right now.
Well, I have stuff in my background too. So
okay. I can't hear yours, but that's so funny.
I can't hear yours either.
Okay, great. Perfect then. Okay. Do you want to share your numbers? Like, do you know how much money you've made since you started?
Yeah. You know, I'm just going to, like, before coaching, I'm just going to round it. Like when I had my, I don't think I made more than like 40,000, 45,000 ever in my lifetime, you know, working. And, last year for 2022, my taxable income was about 82,000. I think that's kind of a little bit more than that. It's so funny because like Massage Book gives you one numbers, and then Square gives you other numbers. And anyway,
I like to go by Square. Usually it's usually more accurate with like what's hitting your account, unless you're not running your cash through it. Then it would be, I don't know, either one. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And it's I had some Venmo payments as well.
Yeah.
And so about 82,000. So I basically pretty much doubled my income for the year of 2022, working full time in my practice.
That's amazing.
Working less hours, but less drama.
Yeah. How many hours do you work a week usually?
I do 16 appointments a week.
Okay. So 16 appointments a week, 82 grand. How much time did you take off?
So last year I took off like 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks. I mean, no, maybe it was more like 2 weeks. This year I'm taking off 4 weeks. So I have like all my vacations planned out and everything, which is great.
Now, is your time off also including seminars, or did you also go to seminars and had that time off for vacation?
Yeah. So I'm going to I'm going to do MFR 3 again this year. So that's one of them in October. And then we went on vacation for spring break, and then we're going to the beach for a week. And then I'm going to take like probably the week off between Christmas and New Year's as well.
So cool. What do you project your income to be for 2023?
So my first quarter that I made so far is if I continue to do that, it's 100,000.
That's so cool. What does your brain think when you think like, I'm going to make $100,000 this year?
At first, when you started, you know, talking about like $100,000, I was like, holy crap, I had no you know, idea that I could make that. It wasn't even like a goal of mine. And now I'm
Mhm.
like, I need to make more than 100.
Like, that's not even enough now. It's like so lame.
So I feel like I'm at like my maximum potential in earning without like raising my rates right now
Yeah.
with my practice as it is. So that's why, I told you what I wrote to you was like, I'm looking at ways to make more passive income now that I have
Mhm.
time. Like, I feel like, basically the hours from Tuesday after 12:30 to Friday to 2:30, that's basically 72 hours,
Mhm.
3 days, maybe like 76 hours where I'm
Mhm.
actually working. And then I have the other hours during my week to do other things. So I
Yeah.
actually have more off time than I do have work time, and it's a full schedule, and I'm going to make $100,000, and that's crazy.
Can you hear that? That's so funny.
It was a beat.
Oh, it was just a beep. Okay.
Yeah.
It literally sounds like they're gonna saw through my house
Uh,
behind me.
what are they doing?
We're having like a deck put on the back of our house, but it's
Right
outside
there.
this. I'm in the basement, but it's like outside this wall. So
Ah,
it sounds like they're gonna saw right through and get me, but
yeah.
hopefully they don't. Okay, so this just blows my mind too, like all of the value of having that much free time because you have little kids. So how do you to show up as a mom when you have that much white space on your calendar, that much free space? Like how do you feel like you're experiencing motherhood from
Yeah,
that?
I feel like well, for a while there, I was working Saturdays and Sundays, and my husband was working
Mm,
a week. So,
yeah.
and I was at home with the kids. So, like, that's just how our life was. And so, did that for about a year or so. And so after that, it was like, no, I want us to spend time as a family together. It's important. Um,
Mhm.
and so working through those hours and working through being able to have the weekends off, have a day off during the week, not
Mhm.
having to work late at night, so I can be there and pick up my kids and be there when they're, at the end of the day and have dinner with them and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that is what I really wanted to be able to do. And this has allowed my practice and building the practice that I want based on what I want, not around other people's schedules, not around accommodating my clients' schedules.
Mm.
I have to work a Saturday because people don't work on Saturdays, but guess what? My clients can come to me during the day. I have a lot of real estate agents. I have people who work with horses, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
my client is not going to be the 9 to 5 worker and then it's going to want to come see me from 6 to 8 at night, So I learned that from you. Like, I just have to, decide that these are my hours. And that's also probably the biggest win too, is like, that I learned from you is like setting my hours and don't have any wiggle room. So even if I have this 4-week waiting list and I really wanted to get somebody in before then,
Mhm.
I'm not going to come in on a Monday. I'm not going to work later or work earlier on a day that I'm already coming in. And that feels like so good. Like I'm like solid in that. I feel great. I'm like, this is what I work. And guess
Yeah.
what? People are okay with it too.
Yeah,
Because I made
100%
it.
of your clients pay your rate and come when you're open, right? Remember when I used to say that all the time? People would be like, "What do you mean?"
Exactly. It's like, okay, I kind of understand what you mean, but like now I know.
Like now you have the result of that. Like, but when you made those decisions, you didn't have the result yet. Aren't you so happy you made the decision ahead of time to create those results? I mean, it's fabulous how this has worked out.
And I don't even think that would have been a thought of mine, or I even think like that's something that I can do. And that's what you also helped us with. Like, you helped all of us understand that. And it's so freeing and it just feels amazing. And like I can actually, make I can earn good money and, make a good
Yeah.
living off of it too.
Yeah.
So
What's your husband think about all of this? Like what you've
oh, he
created?
loves it. He thinks it's amazing, and
Yeah.
he's so supportive of me. And he's the kind of guy who is like, if you have an issue, he'll want to come in and fix it for you, right? Or he'll want to do it for you, on top of everything that he has to do all the time. So
Yes.
I love the fact that he doesn't have to do this for me. I'm doing it on my own, and that's what you helped me with too. Is like you helped me to become independent, so I can do this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love that so much, Tracy. Like this is so rewarding for me to like get to know, like, how are people doing, like 6 months, 12 months? Like, when was the last time we even coached? Has it been about a year since you've been in coaching?
Yeah, I think it was like the end of September was the last time
Okay.
we did coaching together.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So it's been about 9 months. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so crazy. And like, and it just keeps going on. It's not like you get out of coaching and you like aren't self-sufficient and you can't keep going on your own. You've got this.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I always think about like, oh, this would be so great if I were in coaching again, so I can come with my with the issues to get help with and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like I have like a good core and a good foundation that you have taught me, to evaluate what went well, what didn't go well, what I would do better next time. And so that has been really helpful as well. So, and then I continue to listen to your podcasts, and that's helpful, and hearing everybody else's wins. And so
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and being my first guest on our video minisodes. And it's really fun to do this. I can't wait to see how it turns out.
This was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. How can people get a hold of you if they want to Google you and see what you're up to?
Yeah, I have a website, which is www.tow-mfr.com. I am on the MFR directory. I'm on Facebook as well, Touch of Wellness Myofascial Release. So give me a shout out, say hi. If you're in the area, come get a treatment.
Yeah, I love it. All right, you guys. So this has been an interview with Tracey Hobbie, and we will be back next week with another episode or even multiple episodes throughout the week. So stay tuned. Thank you all for joining us, and we will all actually see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me today. My mission is to help every MFR therapist become a part of the movement where no MFR therapists ever under-earn or burn out. Join my 12-month coaching program. You'll spend the first 90 days setting up your foundation to create your six-figure business. Then you'll go to work and uncover exactly what's holding you back from the business that you want and desire. Get support while you raise your rates, set your policies, and learn how to talk about MFR and how to sell MFR in service of your clients. Learn exactly how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town and even if you've had your business for years. This program is open to all MFR therapists who want to create what is possible when you stop playing small and start showing up in your full power as the John Barnes trained MFR therapist you are. Put your magic to work in the world and help more people get out of pain and back to active lifestyles. I'll help you do it. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/coaching and sign up right now.